Hey everyone, it's Brady from the Hot Take Sports Podcast. Today we'd like to thank the first ever sponsor of the podcast, Rowdy Energy. For those who have never heard of Rowdy Energy, Rowdy is a green tea based energy drink that comes in 9 flavors, 6 of which are keto diet approved, while the other 3 have 60% less sugar. Rowdy's main goal is to produce a cleaner and healthier energy drink for not just athletes, but for everyone. The flavors are strawberry lemonade, cotton candy, chiseled ice, which is kind of like a cherry flavor, peach mango, sour green apple, orange citrus, cherry limeade, and the newly unveiled flavors of blue raspberry and grape. The 3 60% less sugar flavors are orange citrus, cherry limeade, and grape, and the other 6, as I previously mentioned, are zero sugar and keto diet approved. My personal favorite flavor is strawberry lemonade. I've never really been a big tea person, but to me, Rowdy Energy is pretty good. If you haven't given Rowdy a try, you definitely should. For our more local listeners, you can find Rowdy at Meijer, Casey's, or Brinkman's. Once again, thank you to Rowdy for sponsoring today's episode. Now, without further ado, we'll hand it over to the guys for today's episode.
Welcome back to Hot Take Sports episode 27. Boys, I am so glad to be back recording. This is, the first time we've all been in the same room in probably a month, right?
A month, yeah.
Month
Month and a half.
I was going to say, the last time the Locos just finished up their season, and we put 3 episodes into production, so...
Yeah, but you take forever. So, anyways.
I do take forever. It's about the same.
Glad to be back. Just a lot of open conversation today, and it'll be fun, especially since we haven't seen each other in a while. So, I say we'll build from the ground up. College football just kicked off in the last week or two. I guess we should all start with Ohio State, right? Because that's
With their new
kind
QB.
of our boys. Yep. New QB, new running back.
Running backs. There's at least 2.
Is Teague still there?
Master Teague is
I
still there.
saw Teague on the field,
But
but I didn't think he
there's-
got that much.
There's 2 new running backs that are supposed to be really
I was
good.
going to say, they look pretty good.
Teague's going to be third string by the end of the year. I guarantee
Which is
it.
interesting, because he was our second string last year.
He was our first string most
He
of
was
the
our
season
first
last
string.
year.
Yeah, and then he
The
got
last
hurt.
couple
Yeah,
games.
that's true.
He got
Trey
hurt.
Sermon.
That was when, Trey Sermon, the legend of Trey Sermon
Sermon.
bloomed.
He's in San Francisco now.
But, I mean, I was a little nervous in the first half. They were down 14-10. They just, after that first drive, they just didn't look good.
Yeah,
No.
CJ Stroud didn't...
Plain,
He didn't impress me all that much in the first half.
plain and simple, they just didn't look good.
It's-
I mean,
It's his first college start, so
yeah, of course.
I mean,
and there's going to be
he'll
struggles
get-
with that.
he's going to be good eventually. He's only a redshirt freshman.
I was texting Matt about it a little bit, and I was like, man, Stroud does not look good in the first half. Matt goes, we'll call it jitters. I'm like, you know what? That's a great way to put it.
I mean, yeah, it's his first college game. Like you said, it's not like he's this 7th-year senior coming into this game. Like,
Yeah.
the dude's probably, 19, 20 years
He's
old?
nine-
Probably
19.
our age, yeah.
He's 19.
Exactly. So, I mean, I'm not going to look into the first game too much. Minnesota always seems like it's kind of a tough game for Ohio State.
It's like
They
Purdue.
probably
Purdue
had-
always seems to give Ohio State a game for no reason.
So,
I'm about to say
Well,
Minnesota
Purdue
had
beat us. We didn't have Nick Bosa.
I know.
Minnesota has probably one of the best running backs in the nation,
yeah.
Yeah, that
but he's injured now.
Mohammed Ibrahim.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the last time they played him, because pretty sure Minnesota was one of the COVID cancellations last year on our schedule. But I guess he tore him apart. 20,
Yeah.
whatever the last season before that was. I guess he tore him apart as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what season that
He's
was
a-
anymore.
He's going to be a
2019.
That's what I thought. I almost said
Because this year's
2018.
2021.
It is.
So
yeah.
last year would have been 2020.
Thank you.
So if you subtract one more from that,
All right, thank you,
it's
Matt.
2019.
And-
I'm glad they're really teaching you stuff over at Bluffton.
Well, I don't have any math classes.
that explains it.
Really? Because you're really going to have... I guess you don't... You just kind of
I
click
have-
the button
I have
for
business
the add
classes.
fries button. So that's really all you do.
Good.
Hey man, at least I know how to pronounce all the names of buildings at my college.
Imagine wearing
Have you even
Cam
been
Newton
into all the
jerseys.
buildings in your college?
The short answer there is no.
I've been to most of them.
He's been to 2 out of the 3.
2 out of the 3. No, we have this one building where some of our professors have their offices that I had never even heard of. I was like, where even is this? I've been in every other building. I've even been in the library, Matt. Don't you worry about it.
Cap.
I've been
What do you
there
have
one
to study
time.
for in your classes?
Well, no.
All you have to do is watch ESPN and you're all caught up.
Well, no, for my incoming freshman required class, we had one class in the library for literally no reason at all.
You had a class in the library.
Imagine
you have
having-
not been to the library.
It was in the middle of the library.
That doesn't mean you.
That doesn't mean you went there by yourself.
I think
You
you
did
didn't know
not-
how to read.
No, he's right. You did not go to the library by choice. You went to the library because that's where your class was.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to go to the library. I'm never on campus to be there anyway. Why would I go there when I don't have to be? I have a sister.
Maybe you could actually get some work done instead of doing it at 11:59.
Hey, it's 7:52.
11:58. My bad. It's
No,
due
I
at
did it at 7:52 a.m. Thank you.
When he was due at 8.
Yeah.
It's not better.
And I went back to bed for 8.
Back to Ohio State football. So, yeah, they clean stuff up in the second half. I've always been a big believer in Ohio State being a second half team.
They got
Oh, yeah,
they
they
got their running
absolutely-
game going. And then
For sure.
play action build on after that.
My problem with Ohio State this year is going to be the same problem I have with them every year. Is their defense going to be able to hold up? Because
That's a
they
great
go
question.
through these. They botch a couple of these early Big Ten games against not great teams. They'll show a really good performance against a good team and a really bad performance against a good team, and then we sit there right before like Big Ten championship and going into the playoffs, and everybody's like, I don't know if they can hold up.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they did at the end of the season last year. They held up really well for one game, and then not so much for the other one.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our offense usually figures itself out. They're really good.
Or the defensive line is good, but is our secondary good? That's our biggest question this year, and that was our biggest question last year.
Like a week before this Minnesota game, I think Ohio State posted a picture, and it was their wide receiver core, and it was like 2 top 20 wide receivers in the nation, and then the number 1 recruit from the 2020 class, and then the number 1 recruit from the 2021 class. And it was like, oh yeah, and we've already got the number 1 recruit from the 2022 class to commit. I was like, oh my goodness. So their offense is fine. Nobody's worried about
wide
that.
receiver.
Oh.
Wide receiver, you? Other than Alabama?
I don't know if I'd go that far.
Other than
It's-
Alabama.
That's a take right there.
Other than Alabama. Wide
Yeah.
receiver, you.
I think they can almost beat Alabama in that. But it's
no,
close.
you can't
It's
argue
close.
with having CD
It's
Lamb.
close.
Bro, we haven't beat Alabama in anything since 2014. Chill
I
out
think
over there.
C.D. Lamb went to
Touche.
Oklahoma.
Did he?
Wait, what is it?
I think
Didn't CD Lamb
so.
go to Oklahoma? I thought he went to
Yeah.
Alabama.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
whoops.
went to Oklahoma.
CD Lamb went to Oklahoma.
Oh, shoot. Who was I thinking
First
of?
picture, he's in a Sooners jersey.
Well, let's see. Who else came out of Alabama recently? Smith, Waddle. There,
It was like
Maybe-
he was there 2 years ago.
maybe Rager. No, Ruggs.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Ruggs.
Henry Ruggs. That's who I was thinking of.
I was gonna say I knew it was one of the R's from that draft. Yes, Henry Ruggs, the speed demon in Vegas.
All right.
Well, I
Well,
mean, it's close.
I'll just talk about the BG game a little
I was
bit.
going to say, yeah, how'd your school do?
We played Tennessee, which they're a Power 5 school. We're a Group of 5 school. It was 14-6 at half, but Tennessee just kind of ran away with it at the end. We just quite simply couldn't stop them.
They scored an SEC team, though.
Yeah, they scored 2 field goals.
Speaking of
Hey,
Tennessee,
It's a start.
They scored.
Yeah,
That's true.
We didn't get
speaking of Tennessee and Ohio State,
Bro, we're in the middle.
I mean, sure, right in the middle of him trying to talk. Like, that's a good effort, but you can't transition.
You can't
from
transition in the
one-
middle of an idea.
Yeah, you can't transition from 1 to 2 when you're only at 1.5. Like, you got to give him a second. Try again.
But yeah, I mean, scoring against an SEC team especially is a big accomplishment, especially for a young Group of 5 program like Bowling Green is.
Yeah.
A local product that some of us played high school baseball against played for BG. He caught 3 or 4 passes. So yeah, that was kind of cool to see.
I mean, I knew he had some catching prowess right from the beginning. Don't worry.
He robbed Brady of a double when I was a freshman and he was a sophomore.
And he's never stopped crying about it.
Hey man, sometimes it's just that one moment in the past, like when I beat Cleveland.
What about it?
That was a fantasy football transition, as if we haven't already had an entire episode about it.
Not
But the
really.
draft is today,
It
so
is.
if you guys want to be updated on our teams, we'll post them for you, and you can grade our teams. What are we, 12-man league?
12
Is that
man.
what we're doing?
Yeah.
12 man,
man.
15 rounds.
Yeah, something like that. I
Okay.
think it's right.
Yeah.
However, while we're still on college football a little bit, did you guys? No. Did you guys watch either the Penn State Wisconsin game or the Georgia Clemson game?
I saw the end of the Penn State game.
They were both such low scoring games.
Well, they were defensively dominated. That's kind of in my opinion, that's kind of what separates Ohio State from schools like that.
Yeah.
You know, Ohio State's definitely now at least more of an offensive firepower where Clemson lost Trevor Lawrence. You know, they're kind of trying to rebuild.
And their offensive core in between running backs and wide receivers. Alabama's the same way.
But
But
sorry, go ahead.
I said all those schools are just next man up. I mean, there's always somebody
There's
waiting in
always
the
going
ranks.
to be some superstar that could have played anywhere else in the country.
I mean, I'm gonna go chronologically, but right now both Wisconsin and Penn State seem like some of those painfully average teams that like can beat you, but they shouldn't. Like Penn State's quarterback's not very good, but they still managed to muscle out a win. Then Clemson and Georgia, the only touchdown scored in the entire game was a defensive touchdown.
Pick
I was gonna
six.
say, yeah.
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 It kind of, from what I gathered, Georgia pretty well dominated that game.
Their defense dominated.
I don't know how the heck to say DJ's last name, the guy from Clemson. He looked bad last night.
Yep.
Oh, he looked terrible.
Like he came in those two games last year, and he looked good. Those are also against ACC. Are they in the AAC or the
They're in
ACC?
ACC.
I thought-
AAC is a group of 5 school. Is a group
Okay.
of 5 conference.
Okay, I can never remember which one it is.
Like that's what Cincinnati's in. I'm pretty sure. I
Okay.
think they're in the AAC.
Yeah.
But he just didn't look good at all. Like I understand Clemson's the powerhouse of the ACC, so they dominate everyone else.
I
But
don't.
when you put them up against another top 5 team like Georgia, like that makes you want to spurn them all out of the playoffs. Like
It's-
recent years they've had
it's
had
only-
Deshaun, they've had
I
Trevor.
was gonna
Lawrence.
say they've
It's
had
only
two
week one though.
current NFL quarterbacks at the helm the last couple years.
Yeah,
So.
and they're fortunate to have that Clemson Georgia game in the first week. So by the end of the season, due to recency bias, nobody's going to think about that. If both those teams win out the rest of the way, there's a good chance that they both still make the playoffs, just because they're Clemson and Georgia. I mean, Georgia will if Clemson wins out.
Even if Clemson drops another game, do you guys think that they have a chance?
No, I don't
Even
think.
if they end up winning the ACC with 2 losses.
I don't.
If-
I don't think.
Yeah, there's absolutely a chance.
I don't think they will
They're
make
still-
it right now. I don't believe.
Well, we've only played one game, Smarty Pants.
That's true.
Nobody's set to make it right now.
I'm gonna try to
Alabama.
find their schedule. Yeah,
I think Georgia could beat Alabama though.
Well, yeah, they
That'll be a
could.
great game
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
High-powered Alabama offense versus Georgia defense.
They are still doing a 4-team this year, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So far.
I'm looking at Clemson's schedule. I think the 2 games that will pretty much set up the rest of Clemson's season is when they play Syracuse week 7 and Florida State week 9. I think those will be the 2 games that set it apart. Because, I mean, they play SC State, Georgia Tech, and NC State the rest of the month. So, they're going to be 3-1 heading into October.
Yeah. Unless
Well, they should be, unless DJ continues to look bad.
It's true.
Also, we mentioned Alabama. Fun fact. So there's this Alabama receiver who was given the nickname Kool-Aid. And, you know, all the new NIL laws and stuff. College, collegiate athletes can now make money. Well, Kool-Aid signed an NIL deal today with Kool-Aid. Just thought that was an interesting tidbit, but... So then he followed up with tweeting, "Does this mean I can yell, 'Oh yeah,' whenever I walk into a new room?"
Absolutely.
Every
yes.
time he scores a touchdown. Oh yeah.
You better just sprint over to the nearest TV camera and say that.
What? He's a 5-star freshman. Like, it's great.
Isaac?
Speaking of college football, Tennessee's quarterback came from Michigan. Yeah,
Really?
he came from.
Yeah,
he
Joe Milton transferred. I forgot all about that.
So, lucky Ohio State fans, we don't have to deal with them.
Yeah, you act like Michigan's been a problem over the last.
I was gonna
So
say.
I wouldn't be dealing
They
with
haven't, they haven't
I'm
been a
about to
problem-
say-
they haven't been a problem ever since they hired John Harbaugh.
I'm about to
Jim
say.
Harbaugh, Brady.
Sorry.
John Harbaugh coaches the Ravens.
Well, both are bad anyway this year. It's a hot take. Both
That's
are
a
both
hot
gonna be
take.
bad.
That's a hot
That's
take.
a hot take.
Both are going to be bad this year anyway.
All right.
Stop setting your
John,
slamming your phone on.
John is going to take after his brother this year. Jim. Yes,
They're
both.
both going to consistently lose to their rivals and never get anywhere at the end of the season.
Oh, I'm sure
But
those
still
two would
be-
enjoy it.
But still be solid teams.
Unfortunately, yeah, probably.
Well, since we're already still talking about football and you brought up the Harbaugh brothers, let's transition to the NFL a little bit. Preseason's over, right? Brady, I think we should start with you. What do you think of the Patriots situation? Update us on what's all going on over in Foxborough, and then
Well, so our lovely quarterback situation. Jarrett Stidham's on the PUP list right now. And we cut both Hoyer and Cam Newton.
so who's your backup now?
Well,
They brought-
I believe they re-signed Hoyer to the practice squad. I'm pretty sure.
I thought you brought someone in.
Nothing. No one other than the meme is gonna be on our starting squad. Mac the Meme Jones will be our starter.
So you-
I'm excited. I
So
really am.
Brady, so you,
I think he'll be good. I do.
so you go to a 6-pack QB to a fat QB.
Hot take.
Yeah.
Mac Jones ends up Ben Roethlisberger without the rings.
Dang.
I
Ooh.
like that take.
Honestly?
Bigger than half of his linemen. Solid quarterback. But still no one likes him.
I mean, you never know.
I mean, he
people
plays for the
like him.
Patriots. Nobody likes him anyway.
He's got a bad start, that's for sure.
Yeah.
He went from Alabama
Well,
to New England.
I've been hearing things out of Patriots camp like most rookie quarterbacks don't talk trash to their D linemen or anything like that, especially not in practice. Mac Jones was doing that.
Because he's a mean.
That's because Mac Jones is a lot of words that I'm not allowed to say on this podcast.
Well, but I mean, they said that he's improved a lot from between pre-draft workouts to post-training camp. They said he's improved a decent amount.
Maybe he got in shape.
Maybe
I was
mean,
gonna say
not
maybe
fat.
stop drinking beer and eating pizza every day.
I'm just gonna point
Smoking
out,
cigars.
hey man, Tom Brady was never in shape, and look where we are now.
Tom Brady looks like he's in pretty good shape to me.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
Tom Brady's 43 years old, played last season on a torn meniscus, and torn MCL, and he still won a Super Bowl.
Oh, I'm aware of
If
that.
that's not in shape, I don't know what is.
It wasn't his MCL, was it? I thought it was like a UCL. I thought it was something in his shoulder.
I
No,
thought
it
it
was
was
a
MCL.
knee. It was a knee.
Knee.
He underwent surgery
It was
right
either
after
it was
the
either
season.
ACL or it was either ACL or MCL. I can't remember which
I
one.
thought it was MCL.
I thought it was an MCL too.
Honestly,
Someone.
let's be
Google it.
honest, it was probably both.
Yeah.
It's Brady.
Well, but I mean, Tom was never like a skinny quarterback. He was always more built. I guess that's what I'm going for rather than
When he
in
came in-
shape.
When he came into the league, he was
They
skinny.
look the same. They both look like they belong in a Home Depot commercial. Tell me I'm wrong. Am I?
How do you define who looks in a look?
Yeah. How
What?
many Home Depot commercials have you seen over the course of
Just-
your life?
We don't even have a Home Depot around us. There's no
BG.
commercial for it.
We used to actually.
BG is the closest
Yeah,
one.
maybe
doesn't it?
15 years ago.
Yeah,
Makes me feel old.
BG is the closest
Good.
one.
It was his MCL, by the way.
I was gonna
Thank
say, I
you.
thought
Thank
it
you for
was.
clarifying.
Thank you.
But yeah, anything. You guys traded Sony Michel.
We
Good
did.
move, bad move.
I think it's a good move mainly because Sony Michel more eats up carries than actually gives up production. Really. Well, unfortunately, I think he won't be bad for the Rams though. Like he'll probably get hurt, but I mean,
He'll probably get hurt.
I mean, he's a guy the Rams kind of need.
We should call you the weatherman with how much you predict the forecast.
Hot take: Sony Michel will be in the top 5 backs this year.
Hot take. You're still out of your mind. Oh, wait, that's not
The
a take.
Rams are going to be a pass-heavy offense. There's no way he ends up
I was
that
going to
high.
say,
He's not going to get the carries.
between Cup and Woods,
He's only touching the ball when it's 3rd and 1, so.
Yeah, because they don't want Matthew Stafford to hurt himself.
well then, I genuinely think the Rams are still going to split carries.
What?
Between-
Who's their other one?
Henderson. Darrell Henderson.
That's right.
I think him and Michelle are going to split carries.
I'd agree. That's what they were going to do with Cam Akers anyway, so.
Exactly.
Well, they're going to try to avoid the whole Todd Gurley 2.0 thing. Clearly, that won't be easy.
Well, no,
But while we're on the topic of injuries and Cam Akers, think about how many running backs just ended their season during training camp.
Travis Etienne, Cam Akers,
J.K. Dobbins.
J.K. Dobbins. That was huge
Yeah.
in the AFC North.
I was gonna
That
go,
was-
I was gonna
that's
go to
big,
that
big
first.
news.
that's going to be maybe a backbreaker for the Ravens.
Like Gus Edwards can get the job done, but nowhere near where J.K. Dobbins.
I mean, they dumped Mark Ingram because they wanted to give the
Yeah.
reins to J.K. Dobbins.
Right.
Now he's on the Texans.
I was going to say, all they got to do is call the Texans. They have 3 running backs right now. They have,
They have Philip Lindsay, David Johnson, Mark Ingram.
yeah.
Call him back.
That'd be
get Mark
super
in.
funny if they ended up trading for Mark Ingram again.
Saying,
I'm
Mark,
genuinely
we need you
surprised the
again.
Texans didn't cut any of the 3 of them.
Yeah, all 3 of them are still
They
there.
don't have a quarterback, do they?
Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor.
Again, I say they don't have a quarterback, do they?
The man
Hey, man.
who's been,
Tyrod did something, evidently.
I was going to say, he gave birth to Justin Herbert, too. Let's
That's
not forget
true.
about that.
He did not give birth to Justin Herbert. A medical
Yeah.
staff member gave birth to
He
Justin
also got
Herbert.
kicked out of Buffalo for Josh Allen, if I'm not mistaken.
I watched a
He did.
I haven't told you guys about this, but I watched a YouTube video about how cursed Tyrod
yeah,
Taylor
I think we both watched the video.
Hey, he
because
just
that
makes
sounds-
teams better. He just doesn't happen to be the one who does.
So the Ravens
improving.
picked him to replace Joe Flacco, pretty much. And then when Joe
Oh,
Flacco
yeah.
won the Super Bowl, they were like, "Okay, we'll give you a chance." That was pretty much the end of his time there.
So
Goes to Buffalo, gets to a Pro Bowl. First, they drafted Nathan Peterman to try and replace him, and we all saw how that went.
No, I think it was EJ Manuel first. And then I think Peterman followed. I think it was Manuel, Peterman.
I was gonna say
And
they
Josh
drafted
Allen.
him, and then they got him, and then tried drafting guys to replace him, and then Josh Allen came along. See a sucker. Cleveland got him for a year. He got hurt. Baker Mayfield. See ya.
That was such an interesting year.
Got
The
shipped.
Browns also had Carlos Hyde that year.
We did have Carlos.
and then
Hyde
we
at one point that year.
replaced Carlos Hyde with
I
Nick
was gonna
Chubb.
say he never played in a regular game. I don't think.
Who?
Well, no, that's not
Hyde?
true.
Hyde.
He was
Hyde,
there.
yeah.
Hyde was your horse week 1 against the Steelers. That's why
Yeah.
you guys
He was the horse against the Jets.
Browns cut Tyrod Taylor after the emergence of Baker Mayfield. Ends up in San Diego. Doctor punctures his lung, giving him a shot. Justin Herbert gets notified of the start like 15 minutes before game time. Justin Herbert goes in, breaks out, great rookie year. Ends up in Houston because the Texans wanted somebody that they knew wasn't going to completely dumpster fire their dumpster fire of an organization.
Joke's on you. They brought in Tyrod to miraculously let Deshaun Watson be innocent.
Yeah,
Hang on.
that's what's gonna happen.
Think about it. Think about it. With how cursed Tyrod Taylor is,
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
That's a good
Oh,
point.
no, it makes
okay,
sense.
okay.
Yeah,
It makes sense now.
Tyrod's gonna start week 1, and then by week 2, all of Deshaun Watson's charges are gonna be dropped. Week 2, he'll still be getting his starting spot back because he'll be at the bottom of the depth chart. By week 3, Deshaun Watson will be the starter.
I was gonna say, Tyrod
Tyrod
Taylor-
out of a job.
Tyrod Taylor never makes it past week 3, honestly.
And then Deshaun Watson wins comeback player of the year because he went from being a felon to being
Oh my
a
God.
Pro Bowl quarterback. Hot take! Oh yeah!
Well, yeah,
But yeah, that's the story of the curse of Tyrod
All right.
Taylor.
hold up. While we're on the Deshaun Watson and the hot take. Hot take. Sam Darnold will be a better quarterback than Deshaun Watson this year.
Well, yeah, because Sam Darnold's guaranteed to play.
At least 1 week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's guaranteed to start week 1.
Also, while we are on quarterbacks,
Today, Junior.
what do you guys think of Aaron Rodgers coming back and restructuring his deal so he'll be a free agent after this year?
Good for him.
I mean, why wouldn't he?
Yeah, there's no sense in sitting out and forfeiting that money and getting fined, right?
I was
Might as well
gonna
play the
say,
sport you love, especially off of an MVP season. You can't just sit out.
yeah.
Everybody knew he wasn't going to sit out deep down, so.
All right. Who was it that made the hot take like a couple months ago that Aaron Rodgers was going to replace Tom Brady? I think it was you.
I don't think it was a hot take. I think it was something that I saw.
It might have been.
Like
But,
some other video.
do you think?
No.
No,
I think he goes to Denver.
really.
That's my call.
Denver.
They have Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater.
My call
They're
is
going to
to
be
the
in the QB
Vikings.
market at the end of the year. There.
Teddy Bridgewater?
Teddy B still has one more year though.
I'm
I
saying.
think they'll ride out Teddy B until after next year.
You think?
I think they'll resign him. I think Teddy
I think
Bridgewater
that they'll
can be
do-
starting quarterback.
Well, they might do like a Drew Lock 2.0. Like they'll pick a QB in 2 or 3 and just let him learn under Teddy Bridgewater. I can see that more so, I guess.
If I was the Denver Broncos, I would have fired John Elway before I pick another quarterback because clearly he can't pick them.
I
I figured that'd be the plan after this season
Yeah.
anyway, so.
I think Rodgers will go to the Vikings.
A divisional rival?
Why do we let you talk on this podcast?
No way.
He's not going to go to the rival that he's had for the past 10 years.
I mean, technically, is
I mean, in all fairness, that is what Brett Favre did.
that what Favre did?
Favre's also not a word that I'm allowed to say on this podcast.
Brett Favre is a copper fit enthusiast. That's what Brett Favre is.
Wrangler.
Regular copper fit. Where's his
How
copper
many
fit
verses?
under his Wrangler? Don't worry.
Well, with his New Balances, of course.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good point. No, overall, I think Aaron Rodgers will either be in Vegas or Denver next year. I'm kind of with Clayton on the AFC West train. Somebody's got to go out there to stop Patrick Mahomes, right?
No.
Somebody.
Not
Well,
really.
Justin Herbert's already out there. I think he'll be a good.
Well,
I think he'll be the
with the
next
turn-
superstar.
Okay, yeah.
I really do. I think Justin Herbert's upside.
Who are you
is really
comparing
high.
him to, though?
I would compare Justin
Like,
Herbert.
are you putting him in the Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence? Who else would be in that section?
Burrow,
Burrow?
Joe Burrow,
Baker, I guess.
Baker.
First round, first overall.
Yeah.
It depends on how big of an age stretch you're going, because if you're considering the young superstar right now to be, if you had to pick one,
It'd be Patrick Mahomes.
it's Patrick Mahomes. So does Josh Allen drop into that
Yeah.
group too?
I think he's number
So you
2.
think, but do you think Justin Herbert becomes a superstar before Josh Allen?
No, Josh
Is
Allen.
Josh Allen?
Josh Allen, in my personal opinion, he is already a superstar.
No.
That's my personal opinion.
I don't think.
I have a question.
I don't think.
Did adding Diggs turn Josh Allen into a superstar?
Adding Diggs to any team will help a quarterback turn a quarterback into a superstar.
That's true. Diggs does help a lot.
I was gonna say,
I mean,
yeah.
absolutely.
Okay, so if Josh Allen's already a superstar to you, and Stephon Diggs did that, is Kyler Murray a superstar by the end of the season?
There's no reason why he couldn't be. That's kind of how I'm looking at that. He already has DeAndre Hopkins. They added a good vet in AJ Green.
I think Kyler Murray, a team led by Kyler Murray, has a higher upside than a team led by Josh Allen.
Really.
I can get behind that, to be completely honest, only because I'm a huge dual threat QB guy, and I think that obviously the dual threat of Kyler Murray is a lot bigger than the dual threat of Josh Allen, but there aren't a whole lot, other than like Lamar, there's not really a whole lot better dual threat
Russell
quarterbacks.
Wilson.
He's just older.
He
I'll
can
say,
still run pretty well though.
well, compared to most
Russell
quarterbacks,
Wilson's just
yes.
been screwed for most of his career anyways.
Yeah.
I still don't understand how
He
he's
gets-
never gotten an MVP vote.
Because
But
he
that's
burns
besides-
himself
Because
out
he-
in the first
yeah.
half of the
I
season.
was gonna say he carries the team halfway through, and then once the rest of it finally turns on, he's dead.
I mean, he's got to get him to that point somehow.
They might finally have a good game week. They're game 9. I don't want to say week 9. I don't know what their bye week is, but game number 9. Because now there's not the game, so they have the halfway point where they can meet and look like a good team, and then can they keep going in the opposite direction.
But going back to your point, I think Justin Herbert will end up like a slower Russell Wilson. Big arm, can move, because he's not slow by any stretch of the imagination.
That's
Oh, yeah.
that's the same thing with Josh Allen, though.
Josh Allen can run when he used to be. He's just
Josh
a
Allen-
tank when he
He's
is.
not, I was going to say, he's not a speed run QB. He's
he's
a power run QB.
Actually, he's a
Yeah.
big guy.
I haven't watched enough Josh Allen to form a true opinion on him. I just know that all I've heard ever talked up of him is that he can throw the ball 100 yards.
Oh, yeah.
Is that he can throw the ball really deep. That doesn't mean a whole lot to me as a quarterback.
I
So,
really wish Josh Allen wasn't a Buffalo Bill, because I really like Josh Allen. For all the same reasons you do.
I mean, I like him.
He's a good player.
I was gonna say he doesn't seem like he's a jerk off the field either.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say he seems like a really
I've never
nice
heard
guy.
of Josh Allen doing something stupid. So
Yeah, it pains me being an AFC East fan because having to root against Josh Allen because I like Josh Allen. I know it makes me sound weird saying that, but everybody's got that one guy on the wrong team that they shouldn't like.
Like J.K. Dobbins with the Ravens.
yeah,
No, I still like him.
shut up, Matt.
Well,
You don't like any team.
I'm a Browns fan, so
I was gonna say, Matt, you can like whoever you want. You don't have a team.
I was raised to not like the Ravens.
Really?
Well, yeah, my mom's a Browns fan.
Oh,
Mom's
okay.
a huge Browns fan, so I was always raised to hate the Dirty Birds. I think is what she called them. Shout out to Mom. But I was still a Joe Flacco fan when he led my team to a championship in fantasy when I was like 10.
I will never.
That's unfortunate right there.
But Brady, I know you have that one player in your mind that you will never, ever remotely consider liking in football, and I know we all have one. Who is it? I think ours is probably the same person.
probably.
Well, okay. I need more time to think about it, so I want to hear you guys first.
Clayton,
3, 2, 1. Ben Roethlisberger.
Yep.
Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh, I should have guessed that. I should have guessed that.
Yeah.
No way. I've watched him dominate the Browns since I've been watching football. I can't like him.
Yeah, I don't like Ben Roethlisberger as a person, so that
Yeah, he's
doesn't even.
on
I was
top of
gonna
that, he's
say-
kind of a dirtbag.
I
I was
So,
gonna
on
say
top-
he's not a person that I can't like, but would. Even if I could like him, I still wouldn't.
Yeah.
So that doesn't really fall in that category for me. I don't know.
This is a lot harder than you guys made it sound. I'd be like, it's easy for you guys. You guys have been
I was
Browns
gonna say
fans
he's
your whole
dominated
lives.
us as long as I've been watching football.
I think they're lying though. I don't think if you guys were like, unless you were a diehard Steelers fan, I don't think you guys would like Ben Roethlisberger.
I mean,
I was gonna say. I
Going
mean,
just
obviously
based off
none of us
'cause
like
he's
him.
from our area.
yeah. Generally speaking, I root for guys from the area, like Micah Hyde. I don't mind seeing Micah Hyde succeed.
I don't root for him if they're crappy people.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
And he doesn't even claim our school, other than he's from the town of
Corey
Corey
Rawson,
Rawson and
yeah.
doesn't spell it right.
Yeah.
And then Finley gets all the billboards. So.
Whatever. I'm sticking with Ben Roethlisberger.
I didn't think that was Isaac's best answer. I don't think he had anybody else in mind.
I mean, I have another one in mind.
Who?
but
Spit it out.
Lamar.
Yeah. Okay.
I like Lamar. So.
I mean, Lamar almost won me a ring in fantasy, so can't really go against Lamar.
Shut up.
Shut up.
The only ring you get in fantasy is one of those ones that you put a quarter in at the convenience store. You twist the machine and it pops
Sir,
out.
I prefer ring pops, thank you.
Yeah, you won't even get one of those.
Hey man,
Those are 50 cents. That's twice our budget.
that's
Yeah, that ain't
That's a fair
happening.
point.
Yeah.
Unless everybody goes on and buys Hot Take Sports merch.
That's
from
true.
HotTakeSports.online. Contribute to the fantasy ring.
true. Then we could buy a ring pop. Give it to the winner.
Now we'll get a cool ring. People will buy T-shirts.
That's true.
So buy T-shirts.
Hot Take Sports League draft.
I don't know if there's like a section to leave a comment, but if
I mean, you can send us feedback. There's a section.
if
for
you
that.
can, or like DM us and be like, "Hey, I bought a T-shirt."
We'll shout you out. on
Put it
episode.
towards the fantasy ring champions ring. Wow, that was
That was
top
very
tier.
painful
Yeah,
to listen
I
to.
say
I
you
won't-
sound like
Yeah.
me over there, bud.
yeah.
You
I did.
all right?
I really did.
Are you
Well, at least he
okay?
finished his thought. He wasn't just kind of like,
Yeah. I guess that, you know.
Just trail off and just never talk again.
But
But you have to start off in a space like Isaac does to make it work. I'd be like,
Brady, I think I have an idea for you, for your player.
I want to hear it.
Is it Peyton Manning? The great rival of quarterback Tom Brady?
If it's gonna be any Manning, it's gonna be Eli.
Okay, yeah,
Quite
all right, that
frankly,
makes
yeah,
more
that
sense.
makes
All
more
right.
sense.
I mean, I was thinking Eli, but
See, I don't think I could
I don't
dislike
even like
Eli
Eli
just because
that
I
much.
feel so bad for him.
yeah, exactly. That's part of the issue. It's like you can't hate Eli Manning because
you
he's
can
on a
hate
diet.
Eli.
No, because if that dude was on almost any other team in the NFL, his career is 10 years longer than where it died out.
No, that's not true. If he was on the Browns, it would have been 10 years shorter.
I said almost any other team. Like, okay, so think, like, if he played for, like, the Chargers or the Rams, or honestly, maybe even, like,
I was
the
gonna say,
Raiders.
crazily enough.
Crazily enough, he was drafted by the Chargers and
Okay,
forced his way
yes,
out.
I know. Anyways, I'm talking about in the time that the Giants have been craps. Think,
Yeah.
like, since OBJ got traded and after. Eli was horrible. like always horrible, and that's essentially what forced him out of the league. Is
Yeah.
because he was bad and he couldn't bring the team back. But if he was on a team like the Rams 7 years ago, he's probably still in the league right now.
Oh yeah, and Matthew Stafford's
Yeah,
still in
I could see
Detroit.
it.
Still, why would they need to trade for him?
I mean, part of me was to say David Tyree just because he made that helmet catch, but that's all he did in his career. So like, I don't know. I'm not sure if there really is a one definitive guy right now. We'll have to see. Because obviously, I'm not going to hit on Tom Brady. Never. I can't.
Never.
I can't.
We have recorded 26 episodes of Hot Take Sports, and he's been a part of the Buccaneers for probably...
For all of them.
Has it been for all of them?
No,
Yeah,
I
all
think
of them.
all of them
I think
except
all of them, but
one.
like the first
I
one.
guarantee you have crapped on Tom Brady.
I
And
probably
been
said something
upset
about
with
it.
Tom Brady.
Oh, I'm sure I've been upset with Tom Brady. I'm
Hey,
sure of that.
He will be upset with Tom Brady when he plays the Patriots this year.
No, I'm expecting to get beat. I'm not gonna lie. I'm expecting to lose that game.
Most teams in the NFL should expect to lose to the Buccaneers.
Hey man,
Yeah.
Buccaneers,
let's be
Chiefs.
real here.
There's no reason the Buccaneers shouldn't go back-to-back this year, but we'll see on that.
But to kind of close out the NFL, I just kind of want to bring up a couple things from the Browns preseason. I like where we're at. I'm very satisfied with our wide receiver core. Very satisfied with our running backs, offensive line, defense. There's just a lot of question marks. Like Grant Delpit is confirmed to play this week. OBJ is confirmed to play this week too. That's not on defense, but just a lot of unanswered questions. Guys that haven't played together before. I hope Javion Clowney works out. At the end of the day, I do.
I forgot the Browns signed him. I'm not gonna lie.
But you remembered about signing your 2 premier tight ends.
Yes, obviously. Thank you.
Moving on.
Matt first.
Go for it.
No communication from the two of you in the Browns jerseys. I'll go to you guys next. Who is wide receiver 1 on the Browns? Go. 3,
Jarvis.
2. Who's wide receiver 1 on the Browns? 3,
Jarvis.
2, 3, 2,
OBJ.
1.
I said it. I said it.
In a couple of years, it will be Donovan Peoples-Jones. In a couple of years.
Disagree.
I disagree.
Donovan Peoples-Jones will never be a wide receiver 1 in the NFL.
Donovan Peoples-Jones might not even be a wide receiver 3 in the NFL.
He'd be a wide receiver 1 on the Patriots. What do you mean?
That's true.
I'm about to say
Him and
Peoples.
Scotty Miller would be wide receiver 1 and 2 on your team. Yeah.
What do you mean, though? Who's going to play over him?
Jacoby Myers will be a wide receiver by the end of the year. Jacoby Myers
Will be your wide receiver 1 by the end of the year. Right now, who is your wide receiver 1?
But honestly, might still be Jacoby Myers, purely based on
And
the
you
targets.
don't think Super Bowl champion Scotty Miller
No.
is ahead of him?
No. Bro, Jacoby...
He's got a top 5 40 time
Okay.
for wide receivers in the NFL. There's no way he's not better than
Okay.
Jacoby Myers.
I guarantee you, Jacoby Myers is
Garbage?
both
Yeah.
on paper and on the field outperforming Scotty Miller.
Well,
Well, yeah, he will this year because Scotty Miller's like wide receiver 5.
No, beforehand.
Yeah, he was wide receiver 3 then, behind 2 guys that could be wide receiver 1 on almost any other team, in Mike
Okay,
Evans and
and
Chris
Jacoby
Godwin.
Myers will-
And then they added AB, another
Okay.
wide receiver
And
1.
Jacoby Myers has never been our primary receiver, and he will be this year because Aguilar's going to be our 2, and Kendrick Bourne's probably going to be our slot guy. Think about it.
I'm not sure how that argument helped you.
I was
No.
going to say, that
Jacoby
literally
Myers-
dug you deeper.
Jacoby Myers will be our receiver 1. He is better than Peoples-Jones, and he is better than Scotty Miller.
Cap. Moving on.
You
Alright.
just say that because he's from BG.
No.
No.
All 3 of them would be very equal to start an off-season in the same offense. And I do not think that your guy would come out on top of the 3 of them.
Interesting. Alright.
Okay, to my question.
Go for it.
Who do you think of your guys' team is the best standout of preseason?
Ooh. Okay. I'll start. Demetric Felton.
That's who mine would have been.
6th rounder out of UCLA. He looked good. I get it's preseason. I get it's against mostly practice squad guys. But I was impressed. I was happy with what I saw. Can't argue with that.
I mean, I guess I have really only one answer for my
Yeah,
team.
there's-
It's
Yeah,
gonna
there's
have
there's
to
only
be Mac
literally one
Jones.
answer.
Mac's gonna have to be the answer.
He got the starting job,
I was
so...
going to say, he beat out at the end of the day, former MVP Cam Newton. I mean, I get he hasn't looked the part, but former MVP Cam Newton. So,
It's like saying former Super Bowl MVP Joe Flacco. They don't look the part quite anymore.
I was saying that
they were
didn't
there
mean
at
much
one
for
point.
very long after he got that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Matt, you have anyone out of our teams or someone in the NFL?
No.
I
Didn't even watch any.
I watch preseason. I watch regular season most of the time.
I didn't think
That's
you
that's
would.
very true.
But other than Demetrius Felton, I'll shout out
Demetric?
another. Demetric,
Demetric.
yes. I'll shout out JOK.
Yep.
He looked good.
All right, Isaac, I have a question for you. What are your thoughts on the GOAT, Daryl Hodge, going from your favorite team to your real favorite team,
Kandiller.
the Lions?
Well, no,
Good for
I
them.
think you go first.
They just happened to claim him off waivers.
Good for them. They needed a wide receiver. He's going
I was
to
going
be
to say, we
he's
didn't
gonna
really
be
need
one-
him. We picked
about
Anthony
to say,
Schwartz.
He's
I
going
know.
to
I
be
just
one of
wanted
the
to, I just
top.
wanted to see if Isaac would
It's
finally come out of the
Isaac's real
closet as a
favorite
Lions
team.
fan.
Hodge will be good for them. He might be the wide receiver 2 by the end of the year.
I just
take. All right.
I just have one final comment. Matt, you can just kind of pick a team for this. Actually, let's assign you a team. We'll just give you the Buccaneers, just out of curiosity.
Ew.
I feel like the Chiefs would be
No,
better.
give him the
That was
Saints.
rude.
You want
Oh,
the
yeah.
Saints?
The Saints?
Well,
Just
Oh,
just pick a
who
team.
is the best player on your team, on your roster right now? Brady. Best player on your roster.
Gilmore. Which is not really a shot at anybody else. It's gonna have to be Gilmore.
Miles Garrett.
I was gonna say Myles Garrett.
So who's my team? You guys
Saints.
throw
The
multiple.
Saints, I guess.
Alvin Kamara. That's
I was gonna say.
I was gonna say that's why I didn't
That
want to
was
say the
easy.
Saints. That's pretty
Yeah.
straightforward.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for football. Excited it's back.
yeah, me too.
I do have a little closing remark. Jameis Winston did evidently look good enough to win that starting job. By the way.
That boosted
Well, he
out.
should be.
Yeah.
He should be because they need Taysom Hill to be a receiver.
Taysom Hill and his 140 mil, which was all voidable. Still confused by that.
Jameis Winston
Whatever
will be a top 10 QB this year.
Pick him in fantasy tonight then.
Heard you
Top
win
10
it.
quarterback.
Baker and Jameis will be Isaac's.
If he's,
Isaac's QB.
if he's a top 10 quarterback this year,
Oh.
you have to take him in the first 6 rounds.
First 6.
Yep.
Oh my, Isaac.
Heard it here first.
And that concludes episode number 27 of the Hot Take Sports Podcast. Make sure to follow us on all our social media platforms at Hot Take Sports 16 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We'll see you guys next time, and don't be afraid to leave us a hot take.